Okay, what I want to talk about today is a very interesting Rule Zero discussion I had last night with Cube and Genie. It was kind of surprising. So the background, I was playing Omnath, my Loco Searcher deck, with a new 3-card I win the game combo.
I thought his name is Odd.
No, Omnath. Odd
No,
Death.
Odd- no.
Odd Death.
Yeah, Odd Death.
Odd
It is
Death.
Odd, but Death. Get it?
Yeah, you dropped Piece of Mango there. Odd Death. Okay. So early in the evening, we'd played 4 games. I'd lost all of them. Played Omnath twice and lost. Played T-Var twice and lost. Immediate game before the one I'm going to describe, I had a good board presence and then attacked right into Cube's Etherize, which blew me out of the water. And before I could rebuild, he suddenly had something like 2 16-16 Flying Ward 2 Tyranids, a 12-12 Trampling Ward, Ungodly fucking Biomaster Beast, all kinds of. So I lost. I just couldn't recover fast enough. So I decided to play Omnath again, and this was pretty much my opening hand. So I got the Vault of the Archangel, and I got Defense of the Heart. And I realized what I was going to do, or try to do, so I went about trying it. So, first turn, Ziggurat Thrium. Well, I forgot to draw for my first turn. And second turn, played another land, and Genie, I think he played Deep Root Pilgrimage on his second turn. Cube, he played Motorcycle Dude out of the Tyrannus deck. And turn 3, so I played another land. Forgot to draw a card. Cube played his commander. Genie played his commander, Kamehameha. And Kamehameha is the merfolk that you can tap 3 merfolk and draw a card. So he tapped 3 merfolk to draw a card. He tapped. What did he tap? Oh, he tapped to attack somebody, and the Deep Root Pilgrimage triggered, and he drew a card. No, he didn't. He didn't draw a card. He created a token. I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day, so bear with me. So he had 3 creatures. And then turn 4 came around. So I had green, 3 others. And I played Defense of the Heart. Cube really didn't care because he only had 2 creatures. And Genie, when he commented on Defense of the Heart, I said, well, Cube's not going to trigger it, so he's not worried about it. Are you worried about it? And he had forgotten the token. He had forgotten he had 3 creatures. So turn 5 rolls around, and I untap. Neither one of them had destroyed Defense of the Heart. They had ample opportunity to do so, and they did not. So I sacrificed it, and I started as quickly as I could finding 2 of the combo pieces. Mind you, this is turn 5, right? I still haven't played land. Dropped Tuscullian in play, dropped Archangel Lethune into play. Not going to bother shuffling, it's not going to matter. And Vault of the Archangel as my land for the turn. And neither one of them appreciated what this represented. So I said, okay, that's game. And what do you mean this game? Okay. So I've got Vault of the Archangel. I can give Tuscullian, give all my creatures lifelink. He'll do. I didn't actually have to explain it in even this detail. I just said I have the game-ending combo. I didn't tap anything. They just looked at it, accepted that is a game-ending combo, without me having to go into any kind of detail or explaining it. And then we started the discussion about, is a 3-card game-ending combo, is that acceptable in the casual kind of games we play? Keep in mind, there's all kinds of crazy other bullshit we do. But is this beyond the pale? Genie's opinion is Seedborn Muse is a fucked up card and shouldn't be in play, but he runs Cyclonic Rift unapologetically. Fair enough. I also run Cyclonic Rift in a single deck. Edric, Spymaster of Trust. So we started talking about, one, is a 3-card combo too much? And then, well, is the problem, if it is a problem, is the problem the 3-card combo in and of itself? Or is it the fact that I can search for some of the pieces? Now, to be fair, I can search for all the pieces. I have Defense of the Heart, which, as you saw, comes down early. And if they meet the conditions, you know, Genie, when he asked me, okay, how many creatures does that take again? I said 3. You have 3. And he looked, oh, fuck, I forgot the token. Yes, you forgot the token. So was that the problem? If I had done this with Tooth and Nail, if I resolved a 9-mana spell to get these 2, 1, I probably would not have the mana to activate Vault of the Archangel after casting a 9-mana spell. 2, if you resolve a 9-mana spell, as I said before, you should win the game fairly quickly. Rise of the Dark Depths, get everybody's creatures. All the creatures out of all the graveyards are now under your control. Smash with them. The game should be over pretty quickly, barring a a timely Etherize or Settle the Wreckage or any shit like that. Some kind of board wipe. So we didn't actually come to any conclusions, but the discussion was surprisingly civil and genteel. We just started talking. Well, what is the problem? Is there a problem? How often would I actually be able to do this in a Commander game? Now, yes, as I said, I have ways of searching for the 2 creatures, Defense of the Heart and Tooth and Nail. I took out Survival of the Fittest because it makes it even more likely that I will get the 2 creatures, and then Smuggler's Surprise can drop them into play for 6 mana, because I can Survival the Fittest, find Triskelion, bend another creature of survival, find the Archangel, and then for 6 mana, at instant speed with Smuggler's Surprise, I can drop them down into play. But then, the combo also requires Vault of the Archangel. I have 2 ways to search for it. I have Sylvan's Scrying, and I have Template Discovery. So I can search out the combo, but I don't want to. In fact, usually when the opportunity presents itself, if I had not drawn Vault of the Archangel, I still would have cast Defense of the Heart, but I would not have gone for these 2 creatures, because they're kind of shaky on their own. I would have gone for probably Seedborn Muse and Kenneth. Maybe, who else would I have gone for? Let's see, Vigor and something that does damage. Maybe Kolrath Knight, because Cube is playing Tyranids and he puts counters on his creatures. So maybe would have gone for Kolrath Knight and something else interesting. So it's not in there. Defense of the Heart, Tooth and Nail, Smugglers, none of these are in here to find the combo. They're in here because I don't want to have this deck just playing some big dumb creature every turn and me hoping it survives to cast a big dumb creature next turn. I want some shortcuts. I want some big plays. I want ways of getting key creatures out faster. And Defense of the Heart, if it cost, say, 3 and only found 1 creature, would that be a better card? Is the problem the card itself? Could they come up with a different version of it? I'm sure they could. Make it cost more and find another creature, make it cost less and find only 1. make it find only creatures with a certain CMC or less. You know, there's all kinds of tricks they can pull with this. But the end result is we're still now we've opened up and we're asking the question, what is acceptable when it comes to combos in the games we play? I'm biased, but I think a 3-card combo that requires some extra hoop to jump through to activate, and that your opponents can see coming in some degree, is, yes, I understand fully that it just completely took the wind out of the sails out of the game, but it happened on turn 5 before anybody was seriously invested in the game. And that's the other reason why the discussion didn't get heated, because nobody had invested much into the game at that point. So I'd like your thoughts on it. I'd like to know what you think. 1, is my 3-card combo here too much? Is it over the top? Since, admittedly, I can search for it. Should I take out one of the pieces? For example, Archangel of Thune. Taking out Triskelion wouldn't do anything because I still have Walking Ballista. And I'm going to keep Walking Ballista because this is a +1/+ a counters deck. So, and Triskelion works too. Her, I don't have that many ways of getting life, so if I took her out and replaced her with another card, that would break the combo. That would end the possibility I have of putting this combo together and ending the game like I did. But I'm not sure, and we're still discussing it, so curious to see what all of you think. Also, I want a card out of here. This is a Secret Lair Sheldamanary, and after playing Omnath, I realized...
I love mango.
Do you love mango? Okay. I realized I don't want Dawn's Truce in here. I want Teferi's Protection. And I've got this copy that was sitting in that sealed pack, just doing nothing. Max wants in. So Dawn's Truce, it's still a good card, I just think I need something a bit more. Maybe I should take out Semester's End for Dawn's Truce, but Semester's End exiles all my creatures. The problem with Dawn's Truce, the problem I have with it in this deck, is that my permanents gain hexproof until end of turn. Okay, fair enough, good. They also gain indestructible. They do not gain, they can't be exiled. They do not gain, etherize any of that shit. So I want a way to reset my board so I don't get blown out like I did in one of the first couple games of Omnath. So I'm going to put the Teferi's Protection here. These other cards, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Well, Soul Ring and Command Tower, I will play them somewhere. That's for damn sure. The other cards, Ink Shield, I'm sure I can find a home for that. Sheldon the Commander, Ruhan of the Formori. I already have one. This is the second copy. So I don't really need a second copy of Ruhan of the Formori because he's just going to be a commander deck. This I wouldn't play. I already have one for the art. Keen Duelist, though. I should put him in a deck. Maybe I should put him in Omnath because he's fucking great. I love him. 1 in a black, 2/2 human wizard. He's like a fucked up Dark Confidant. Beginning of your upkeep, you and target opponent each show off the top card of your library. You each lose card equal to the mana value of the card that the other guy shows off. Then you each put the card you showed off in your hand. So if I show off a 2 mana spell and the other guy shows off a 3, I take 3, he takes 2, and we both get that card. So that's pretty cool. I have one in my Nally deck. I should probably put one in another deck because, I mean, he only costs 2. He's a 2/2. He's got a fun ability, and nobody really wants to kill him because they're having fun with him. everybody wants to see what's going to happen. So, actually, I should put him in Sig, which kind of goes against the idea of discard, but it would give me another card to force my opponents to discard, and he is pretty cool, so maybe I'll put him in Sig. Maybe I'll put him in Sig discard. So anyway, Don's Truce will come out. Teferi's Protection will go in. Maybe there's something else in here that I should take out instead of Don's Truce. Maybe I do need the other protection. I've got Inspiring Call. That gives my creatures indestructible but not hexproof. It allows me to draw cards. Innkeeper's Talent, if I get that down and level it up, my permanent counters have Ward 1, so that gives them soft hexproof. What else in here? What else should I consider taking out? There's a card, Solar Blaze. 2 colorless, 1 red, 1 white. All the creatures punch themselves in the face. Next time I order cards, I want one for the Ruhan of Fomori Sheldon deck. Absolutely want one for that. I'm going to order a second one and put it in Omnath because I think it will be better than Earthquake. So Earthquake is not long for this deck, but I'll put it in my trash tower. I'll keep it around. See, there's the Sylvan Scrying. This is in here, though. This is not in here to find, well, if I'm low on life, this is in here to find Vault of the Archangel. If I need the fucking life link, yeah, I will search for the Vault of the Archangel. But otherwise, if I have Urborg or Cabal Coffers, this is here to find the other half. That's what it's in here for. That in mind, since I just freely acknowledge my realization that I will find the Vault of the Archangel if I'm low on life, maybe I should take out the Archangel of Thune. Take her out. For what though? Probably Mari's Wake. I should have Mari's Wake in this deck. So anyway, that's Omnath. That's the Rule 0 discussion we had. I'm looking forward to us talking about it again, to resolving it, to figuring out how we want to do this. What sort of combos are we going to let in the game? Because we've started having these discussions in more depth and detail about what sort of games do we want? What sort of decks do we want to allow? And in the background, we don't want to stop anybody from playing decks they find fun. And all of us have decks at different power levels. So if I have a deck that's too strong for what they have, either they need to, in the next game, switch to one of their stronger decks, or I need to power that deck down if it's just overwhelming, if it's just completely oppressive, and it would spark an arms race if I kept forcing it into play. There's that consideration. And then there's the background discussion about Bloom Burrow, stopping a Bloom Burrow. The genie really doesn't like that idea. He doesn't understand why we would want that at all. And I tried to explain it to him because of the power creep. And he says, well, you can do broken shit with all the stuff they've had for the past 30 years. You prove that more than anybody with all the broken shit you do. And I say, yes, but the power creep just keeps going up. Look at the aggregate of cards from 10 years ago, and look at the aggregate of cards now. How many cards from 10 years ago are people that were popular, that were good? How many good cards from 10 years ago are people still playing? Not that many. Not really. Baneslayer Angel, she'll be in an Angel deck. Maybe she'll be in an aggro deck. She used to be a 20 euro card when she was in Standard. Now she's a rare, not a mythic, and nobody cares. She hardly sees any play. What else? let's see. I'm trying to think of something else. The Shocklands, of course, because they really will have a problem making those better. They really have a problem, but I have full faith that they can. They can make them only cost 1 life. They can do all kinds. They can make them legendary. They can print the legendary dual lands that Commander players have been begging for so long. Make them legendary Shocklands that come into play tapped, or you lose 1 life. You know, something like that. Fetch lands, because it's really hard to power creep those. But let's look. I mean, Blasphemous Act, that's still the best red board wipe. Kolrath Knight, this is a goofy card I have in here just as a silver bullet. Doubling Season, because the only way they could really make this better is to have it have the same text as Innkeeper's Talent, where if you would, instead of an effect, if it said if you would put 1 or more permanents on counters or permanent, if you'd fucking put more counters on a permanent you control, put twice as many instead. Because right now, this Planeswalkers, when you tick up the loyalty, this does nothing. Innkeeper's Talent, if you have that in play and it's beefed up, it's at level 3. No, level 2. Level 1. Anyway. If you're doubling your counters from Innkeeper's Talent, when you tick up the loyalty of a Planeswalker, it adds another one. It doubles the counters. Doubling Season does not, so they could reprint. They could print a Doubling Season that does do that. Tooth and Nail, kind of a goofy old card. This is a goofy old card. Fayerborough Elder, recently printed. Fathom Mage. So a lot of these cards, all of the older ones are in here, just because I didn't have, I just wanted the old cards, or they have a specific effect. But my point still stands that if you look at cards from 10 years ago, the best cards of the time, and see how many of those are still played. Seriously. Not that many. But that is one of the nice things about Commander, EDH, is we can still play with the old cards. But as power creep continues to evolve, more and more of those old cards are going to be pushed out, pushed to pasture, because they're just no longer as good. What if Avengers Zendikar cost, say, 6 for a 4/4 that does the same thing, so it comes down faster? That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? What else do we have? Forgotten Ancient. Kind of hard to top him. Maybe give him another relevant creature type. Maybe have it so at the beginning of any upkeep you can move the counters around. That'd be broken. That'd be fucked up. If they could do shit like that. So anyway, let me just think. It's been a rambling discussion. I freely admit that. I just want to get some thoughts and ideas out there and see what all of you think.